Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. We got so much stuff that's going on, getting ready for Christmas, getting the Joe Bardys out, the racks and everything else. It's been busy. I thought things would slow down some after the tailgate, but Christmas is literally next weekend, so I don't have a whole lot of time to get everything done and out, but we're going to do our best to get everything there, so it'll be up underneath the trees. Interesting news we have today. We know that Tyron Smith is going to be out for this week, but the hope is that he will be able to finish out the season at some point. We don't know if that means he'll miss the following game, but they're hoping that by the end of the season and into playoffs that he will be ready to go. In my mind, I'm almost at the point of saying don't rush him back to try and just say he's out there. And I think this may be part of the problem for the Dallas Cowboys is they've been rushing to get people back out on the field to, say they're back out on the field, and maybe they're not healed completely. You can think about that with Dak Prescott. Oh, by the way, Lyle Collins, of course, Lyle Collins doesn't look like he's going to be suspended, so he'll be playing right tackle, and it looks like Terrence Steele, are we lucky that we got him as an undrafted rookie free agent, because the guy they brought in as a free agent, Ty Nsekhe, has not done anything. And in fact, they don't even talk about him anymore. I don't know if he's even in the facilities anymore, because whenever the offensive line shifts, you got that one opportunity. Forgive me for yawning. I know Frank Joseph will be cutting that in there and saying, look how unprofessional he is. He's yawning. Well, it's because we're always doing work and stuff here, and we don't sleep much. But anyway, it will end up being Terrence Steele starting at the left tackle position against the Giants. Now, Daniel Jones will be out for the Giants, doing what Daniel Jones does, which is kind of like Barkley does, injured, off the field, on the field, doesn't really matter. It's just not that good. So we have that going on. Tony Pollard, apparently, they believe will be back this week, which could give us a boost. And, of course, you're still worried about Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott, who probably will still get 1,000 yards this season. He basically needs 45 yards in each of the next 4 games, and he's got a 1,000-yard season. One of the things that really disappoints me, and maybe I'm just from a different world or a different age, there's so much hate in the world and so much desire to try and make others feel bad. It's literally, it's the era of the troll. Zeke Elliott's mom getting trolled by people saying that Zeke Elliott's washed up, he'll never be 1,000-yard back again, and the Cowboys need to look for a replacement. Why do you have to go after his mom? I just don't understand that. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't, who knows? But it's not your place to go to his mom. I mean, let's be real. Where's your humanity, people? But looking at where we are right now, I've done research in the past and things. And one of the things that I have discovered, for the most part, you go back the last, 10, 12 years, one of the things that teams have had in common is on the defensive side. On the defensive side, 2 of 3 categories are in common. Most Super Bowl teams, winning teams, have 2 of the 3 things in the top 10. I'm sorry, I'm just kind of like, feel like I'm in space today. 2 of 3 things in the categories on defense, between takeaways, scoring defense, or yardage. Most Super Bowl teams have typically 2 of those 3 categories in the top 10. In fact, as much as we say Tom Brady is the GOAT, Tom Brady has never had the worse than 8th rated defense winning the Super Bowl. Never. Some years he had the number one defense when they were winning Super Bowls. And that gets lost in the shuffle. Now for our Cowboys, let's take a look here. Actually doing a couple things a little bit different here. I had and the trolls, of course, made fun of it. I think Frank Joseph was one of them. I have this Surface that actually controls all the software and things. And by accident, I actually spilled a cup of coffee, got knocked over on it. It got wet. It just fried the board on it. And I tried drying it out, put rice in it and everything else, blow dried it, used my compressor, sprayed the air on it, and it would never work. And as you can see the boxes behind me here, going through, getting out some of the Christmas decorations and some of the things and stuff for Christmas. And I came across the box that I put it in. I said, well, let me plug it in and see if it comes back to life, because you can't get these anymore because they just stopped making, because live stream studio, it's like you need to make 1,000 of them, and there's not that big a demand to use it with the software. But if you do, it's great. So I plugged it in and it worked. So it's just like, okay, all right, we're going to go ahead and try it and see how it works. So now I can switch the cameras and stuff right here just by a push of a button, like I usually do sitting over there. So this will make it a lot easier to go to do a lot of different things and can keep me more focused on you guys. Sorry, I digress. But if you look at the categories right here, defensive rankings, right now on scoring defense, we're 12th. Okay, that's pretty good. We were at one point I think we were 10th. We dropped back a little bit, a couple of the games. In yardage, we've given up a lot of yards, 23. But you look over here, takeaways, 2. We're number 2. What you see in common are 2 of those 3 categories in the top 10. We're close right here, scratching the surface. If you can take away the football, or if you can keep the other team from scoring points, generally speaking, you're going to win. And the question is, can the Cowboys get into those categories? I say hell yes, because I believe we've just literally scratched the surface on the capabilities of this defense. Understand, this is the first week against Washington, and I know Washington's not a juggernaut offense, but they've done some damage. You still held them to 224 yards. You ended up taking the ball away over and over again, and you had 5 sacks. To do that, I don't care what team you're going against, you're doing some damage. But keep in mind that was Neville Gallimore's first game back. Tristan Hill's only had 3 games. DeMarcus Lawrence has only had 2 games. And Randy Gregory is just back from his injury. And you couple that with Micah Parsons. That group has no cohesion just yet. The good thing for us is, I don't want to say it like this, but you look at playing the Giants offense, it's kind of like a scrimmage. Dan Quinn can experiment a little bit with the defense and trying some different things, some different looks and different people and positions, and get some extra work in. I honestly believe that the Cowboys should be able to win this game going away against the Giants, especially without, Daniel Jones. But it is a division game. As these guys get their legs underneath them, because understand, there's always rust. You don't usually come back from injury 100% ready to go. If that is the case, that there's still rust on Neville Gallimore, who's only had 1 game and got a sack last week, if there's still rust on D-Law, who's been amazing, and if Randy Gregory just maintains what he's done, along now with the wild card, which is Micah Parsons, you can see Micah Parsons feasting even more, because they're going to be able to overload offensive lines. Very few offensive lines are going to be able to shut that down. And I dare say, collectively, we may look at this in a week or 2 and say that this may be the best defensive line in football. I honestly believe that. And I think about the difference of Micah Parsons being on this defense, that he's the driver. He's now the leader. This is his defense. And he's becoming, like Dak Prescott, the face of the defense, like Dak is on the offense. And that's an amazing thing when you are just a rookie. So I'm excited. I'm happy. People, of course, think that the sky is falling with the Cowboys because of the offense having a few bad games. I'm not ready to go there just yet. I believe that the Cowboys will be okay. It's just that you end up having slumps, and the changes in the offensive line, wide receivers in and out, missing Blake Jarwin, all these things are complicated what the offense is doing. So that's what I have to say, and that's my 2 cents, and I'm going to leave it right there. One thing I would love for you guys to do, and some of you have actually started doing it, is getting you guys to send in any pictures that you took from the tailgate that you really like. I'm trying to get together a montage of all you great fans and different angles and different sites and stuff to kind of share with everybody in the world. And with that being said, it's time to make sure you remember this.
You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter, then retire. Get out. Because it matters.